All right, stop laughing. I hate Agile. That's it. Barely any context. No explanation, just those three words dropped into the middle of an interview. And if you're anything like me, your first thought might be, WTF. But before you panic or jump into conclusions, let's pause because this isn't just a random statement. This is a deliberate test, a test of your composure, critical thinking, and your ability to navigate tough conversations. Over the years, I've curated a list of over 400 Scrum interview questions and answers shared with me by candidates just like you. And amongst these questions is a category that I like to call WTF questions. These are the curveball that interviewers throw in to break through rehearsed answers to see what you're made of. And I Hate Agile is one of those questions or comments. And today, I'm going to show you how to handle such questions. Picture this, you're sitting in an interview, you're prepared, you've rehearsed answers on sprints, retrospective, velocity tracking, you're ready to nail it. And then the interviewer drops in, I hate Agile. What do? Do you freeze? Do you argue? Or do you pivot and turn this moment into an opportunity to shine? And in this video, I'm going to show you how to respond to this curveball question with poise, curiosity, and strategy. Because here's the truth. This question isn't about Agile. It's about you. It's a chance to show that you can stay composed, think critically, and lead even in challenging situations. And trust me, if you handle this well, it could be the moment that sets you apart from every other candidate. But before we dive into how to respond, let's step into the mind of the interviewer. Why would someone say, I hate Agile in an interview? Here's why. They're trying to test your composure to see if you can stay calm and collected if thrown a curveball. They're also trying to assess your skills in diplomacy. How do you handle resistance? How do you engage with someone who has a different perspective than you? This could also be an attempt to spark a dialogue. Interviewers might want to hear your response in practice and not theory. They also may be trying to gauge your perspective to see if you have seen Agile in both its successes or failures. Many companies are in the process of transitioning to Agile, or they have struggled with it in the past, and this statement might reflect their frustration with poor implementations or expectations, and your ability to uncover these frustrations is your key to winning this conversation. And here's where many candidates go wrong. They immediately go on the defensive. And honestly, it's an understandable reaction. As Scrum Masters, we're deeply connected to the Agile framework. It's what we do. We are the custodian of the Scrum framework. And when someone says they hate Agile, it could feel personal, almost like they're attacking something that we stand for. It's human nature to go on the defensive or to retaliate when being attacked. Here's the truth. This question isn't about defending Agile, it's about proving your ability to lead. The interviewer doesn't need a sermon on the Agile manifesto. They need to see if you can approach resistance thoughtfully and tactfully. If you jump into questions or statements like this, you run the risk of giving surface level response that lack depth and doesn't provide a satisfactory response. If I were told in an interview that I hate Agile, I'll acknowledge their perspective by saying, that's an interesting perspective. May I ask, what specifically do you not like about Agile? This response shows that you're not rattled by the curveball. It turns the statement into a conversation to give you valuable insight into their mindset, and it also demonstrates curiosity and a willingness to listen. My answer to their statement would be something along the lines of, Agile at its core is a mindset, a set of principles that guide how we adapt, collaborate, and deliver value. However, I've also seen situations where Agile doesn't work as intended, and it's almost always as a result of a misalignment between expectations and execution. I've seen Agile reduced into a set of checkboxes, daily stand-ups, sprints, retrospectives, without even understanding why those practices exist. In these cases, teams go through the motion and miss the true essence. Change is hard, and Agile challenges long-standing habits, hierarchies, and comfort zones. Teams or organizations' resistance to change could view Agile as disruptive rather than enabling. And I found that addressing this resistance requires empathy and focusing on incremental wins to build trust. Is it really Agile that you dislike, or is it the way it's implemented or communicated? In situations like this, remember not to dive in immediately, or you risk running into a defensive monologue about Agile's merits. When engaging thoughtfully, you are setting yourself apart as someone who can turn resistance into collaboration, because this isn't a debate where you defend Agile. It's about understanding their perspective. For more questions just like this, you can check out my free Scrum interview questions and answers alongside other free resources like resume templates and so on.